What's going on, people? This is Coach G, leader of the Necessary Growth Movement, creating new habits for a new breed of men, professionals. Wanted to come at you today, people. Talk to you guys about a good piece that I picked up the other day at practice. I was working with my coach, and I'm asking him, like, man, when am I going to get this down? I'm getting frustrated, right? I mean, I got a little bit more endurance with it, but I'm still getting frustrated. I'm getting my ass kicked every time I'm on the mat. And he's like, listen, man. End of the day, it's going to take you 2 years of going through hell. And I said, man, really? Are you serious? 2 years of going through hell? You couldn't have put that any better for me? And he was like, I could have lied about it, or maybe you didn't want to know what it really was, but that's what it's going to take for you to get to your goal. So what I wanted to talk to you guys tonight about was, what are the pieces involved for you to really make it through hell to get to your goal? You know, a lot of times when we look at our goals, when I go to practice, I kind of see myself at the end piece of it, right? You see yourself already mastering it. If you have envisioned yourself owning a business or even overcoming something in your life, you tend to look at the end product of it. And we get excited about that, right? We get happy about what that end product looks like. It's what helps to build that little bit of fire, that bit of motivation that we need to just kind of get some forward momentum going on with it. But then we tend to come across some things in the course of that we look at and say, man, didn't plan on that happening. Man, that makes it a little bit harder for me to do now that I have this in front of me as well. And here's the piece with all of that, guys, is that you have to understand how you're going to approach this goal from the beginning to be able to handle the hell you got to deal with just in reaching the goal. Because if it's a goal worthwhile, it's just not going to be easy for you, period. So 3 things I want to leave with you guys today when you're setting out and making your goals happen that'll help you to overcome all the bullshit, all the hell that you got to go through just to get the goal accomplished. Number 1, it's going to be about your own motivation, guys. And listen, it's got to be internal, not external. You can't get the job done for somebody else and think that that's going to last long, because sooner or later that's going to go away. It's going to be fleeting for you guys. Number 2, guys, you got to know what that time is going to realistically look like for you. You know, you can't base this time on what the manual says, on what the person beside you has done and the person in front of you has already done. You got to know what you bring to the table and what it's going to take for you. And here's the deal. If it takes 4 months, it takes 4 months. It takes 4 years, it takes 4 years. You get a hiccup in the midst of that and realize that 4 months just turned to 8 months, or the 4 years maybe turned to 6.5 years. Well, listen, it's on your time. You get to dictate that entire pace of it no matter what comes around in your life. And number 3, guys, you got to have consistent daily action. Look, I don't care how small the action is. It could be the phone call. It could be the 3 steps you walk on the treadmill. It could be you just assuming the fucking position for a push-up. And I'm sorry for my language, guys, but this is a real thing right now. We got to understand that in the midst of what we want to get done, the language ain't going to be easy. The road ain't going to be easy. And a lot of parts to it won't be easy. And they're not going to be as glamorous as what we viewed that end product to be. But you got to know what tools you got to have handy for you to still be able to make it through it, guys. You got to have internal motivation. You got to be able to do this thing for you, not for anybody else. Like, you got to start throwing out some of the old pieces that we like to use for motivation, like New Year's resolution, right? What's the point of waiting this year? You missed it already. We're to blow the whole rest of the year off and wait till next year. Like, that's stupid, guys. I mean, even wanting to do the things that we say we want to do for our family and our friends, well, I'm sorry, but the way this world's going right now, you can wake up and they'll be gone. So what does that really mean about you and your goals? Was it for you or was it for someone else? If it's for someone else, it's not going to last. Know your time. Know what it's going to take. They tell you all the time, right? Rome wasn't built in a day, and heck, it took God about almost a week to get the whole earth done. So listen, know what the time is going to take for you to accomplish what is that important to you guys. And last but not least, guys, consistent. Like, just keep moving. Just consistent action. Consistent action. I'm going to wrap this up for you guys with a great story. My son, I talk about him a lot. You guys have heard him talk about him before, but I got a good message about him today. Always got a good message. But he went out, and as you know, we're dealing with a little bit of a blizzard here, right? Blizzard Jonas has come and hit the East Coast. And my son had an idea and said that he was going to go and make some money. Of course, you guessed it. Shoveling, right? And how much you want to bet he's shoveled before? Didn't happen. He had no idea what kind of pain he was going to go through in getting that done. So yesterday was his first venture out there, and he had no idea what was coming his way, but he had a goal. And here's the deal: I didn't make him get up and go shoveling. Nobody did. He came to me and said, I want to get out here. I want to have my own money so I can have the things that I want to have, and I'm going to go shovel right now. You won't let me go get a job until my grades are right, so I'm going to go shovel. He goes out here, he shovels, he comes in here. Yesterday, got paid like half the money for one job, and arms are sore, feet is almost frozen. And I'm like, well, how was it? It was like, it was rough, it was hard. I'm like, are you going to go back out and do it again tomorrow? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, why? It's like, because I still want to get some more money. It's like, well, you got some already. I want more. And you know what? It took longer than I thought it was going to take, but I'm willing to do twice that amount. And that's what he did today. He walked out today and didn't do one house. He did 2 houses. Comes in the house just flipping bills. So you know who don't got to pay for a haircut next week. Listen, guys, know what it takes. You got to have the internal motivation. You got to know your personal time for the goal to be reached. And you have got to make consistent action. Anything outside of that, guys, get at me. Coach G, you find me on Facebook. Feel free to email me, guys, necessarygrowthmovement@gmail.com. Love you. Talk to you guys later. Peace.